Hello students, today I am here with you taking the second video on voice. Those who have not watched my first video on voice, please watch it first and then watch this video to understand the rules. So let's start the discussion with the questions or interrogative sentences in active voice. Dear students, questions may start from question words, helping verbs, or modal auxiliary verbs. So today, let's begin with the questions that start from who. WHO, who. Always remember, in these kind of questions, subject is missing. Means we do not know who is the agent of the work. And whenever you convert the sentence which begins with who, which is an interrogative sentence, we always convert WHO who into by whom. As you know very well, while converting from active to passive voice, before subject, we always use the preposition by. And here, by whom we will use in the beginning. In other passive sentences, you were putting by subject after the verb. But here, as we don't know the subject, we will put by whom in the beginning. So, the passive structure of the questions that begin with who is by whom plus helping verb plus object and plus third form of the verb. Let's understand it with the help of the example. If in active voice it is written who played cricket, while converting from active to passive, you will change who into by whom. And then, according to passive structure, what should come? Helping verb. So, because played is in past tense, helping verb will be was. Here, we will consider the subject singular because we don't know the number of the subject, whether it is singular or plural. So, we will consider it singular only and we will put was with the subject by whom. Now, according to passive structure, object should come, and here object is cricket, and the third form of played is played only. So, the passive of who played cricket is by whom was cricket played. Now, if in active voice you have the question that begins with the question word what, then always remember that in these kind of questions, what is missing? Object. Yes, object is missing in these kind of questions. And if we have to convert these questions into passive voice, we use this structure. The passive structure is, first you have to write what, which is representing object. Then you have to write helping verb, and after helping verb you have to write third form of the verb, and at last you will add subject followed by preposition. Let's understand it with the help of this example. If in active voice you get what do you play? Then here you is the subject who is doing the work. But what is the subject doing? We don't know. It means what do we don't know? Object. So its passive voice will be what was played by you. And here, as we don't know about the number of the object, we will always use singular helping verb. So, hope you understood that in active voice you had did plus V1. And what is the V1? Play. So, did plus V1 is converted into was played. In this way, the passive voice is what was played by you. Now, if in active voice you have the questions that begin with other question words, right? You have watched the question words who and what, and you have also seen how to change that kind of questions that begin with who and what. Now, if you have other question words like how, when, why, and also if your question starts from any helping verb like is, am, are, has, have, etc. Or suppose if your question starts from modal auxiliary verbs like may, can, understand? So in that case, first thing which you have to remember is that in these kind of questions you have both subject and object. And for changing into passive voice, you have to follow the passive structure which is given below. So first you have to write question words, and after question words write helping verb. After that you have to write the object of the sentence, and then you have to write third form of the verb, and at last you have to add by subject. Let's see this example. In active voice it is written, how did you write a letter? When you convert this sentence in passive voice, it becomes, how was a letter written by you? So here we have followed the passive structure. You have to remember one thing: whenever you convert a question into passive voice, the question should remain question only. For that, you have to always put supporting verb before the noun or pronoun. Here, when you converted the sentence into passive, you have written was before a letter, and after that you have to write V3 form. This thing you have to always remember whenever you convert any sentence from active to passive. So you always follow the structure which is given to you before the example. Let's clear the doubt by solving one more example. Suppose in active voice you have you made this project? And you have to convert this sentence into passive voice. You remember one thing, that this question is started from helping verb. It means here subject and object both are present, as in the previous example. How did you write a letter? In that example also, subject and object both were available. Okay, now here as you see that your question begins with helping verb have. When you convert into passive voice, then also you have to use helping verb first. But remember, here a slight change is there. In active voice, you have as helping verb. But when we convert it into passive voice, in place of have, it becomes has. And the reason behind this is we have to use helping verbs according to the object. And here, what is the object? The object is this project, which is singular. And you know very well that with singular nouns or pronouns, we use has, right? That's why your passive voices has this project been made by you. And remember, in active voice, you have made. And so in passive voice, the change is has been made. Remember, has we have used because the object is singular. Now, suppose in active voice, you have order or command. How will you understand that the particular sentence is order or command? Remember, your sentence will begin with main verbs like sit properly, open the door, close the door. Here, sit, open and close are main verbs, and so these sentences are order or command. In these kind of sentences, you may use two structures. You may use let plus object plus be plus third form of the verb, or you may also use object plus should be plus third form of the verb. Let's understand with the help of this example. If in active voice it is written open the door, when you convert into passive voice, you have two options. You may write let the door be opened, or you may also use the door should be opened. Both are right. Here, after let, we have used object the door, and then be plus V3 is used, and here V3 is opened. In second example, we have used second structure. First object, that is the door, and then should be plus V3, and V3 is opened. Okay, now if in active voice you have request, how will you understand that the particular sentence is request? Your sentence will begin with please. And while converting from active to passive voice, you will follow this structure. You are requested to plus first form of the verb. Let's understand it with the help of example. If in active voice it is written, please give me a book. While converting into passive voice, you will add a phrase, you are requested to, and then you will take the first form of the verb from active voice, And what is the first form of the verb here? Give. So you will add give me a book after you are requested to. In this way, what is your passive voice? You are requested to give me a book. Now let's see the sentence which is having two objects. Suppose in your active voice you get a sentence which is having two objects. Then the first object which is written just next to the verb, it will be called indirect object. And after that, the object which will be written, it will be called direct object. First, let's see what is indirect object. Dear students, indirect object is the object which is used with a transitive verb to indicate who benefits from the action or gets something as a result. In simple language, I can say that it generally tells us the names of the persons or things to which something is given or for which something is done. Let's understand with the help of example. If in active voice it is written, she gives me a pen, then you know very well, she is subject, gives is active verb. Here me is indirect object and a pen is direct object. So here you can understand that she gives a pen, but to whom she gives a pen? To me. So here me is the person who is receiving the pen. That's why me is indirect object. But what does me receive? So me receives a pen. That's why pen is direct object. So by this, can you guess what is direct object? Direct object receives the action of the verb. In other words, it is the thing being acted upon, means a thing on which the action is performed. Dear students, direct object always answers the question, what does action give or do to the indirect object? Like if you again see this example, you see that she gives me. And what does she give me? A pen. So you got the answer. When you get the answer of what question, you get direct object. So when you convert this statement into passive voice, you are having two methods to convert. First one is, you can put indirect object in subject place. So indirect object is me, and if it comes in subject place, it will become I. And because active verb is gives, means V1 plus S, which represents simple present tense. So its passive verb will become am given, because with I we use am as helping verb. So the passive voice will be, I am given a pen by her. The second method is, put direct object in subject place. And direct object is a pen. And with a pen, with helping verb will agree? Is. So the sentence will be, a pen is given to me by her. So in this way, following the two methods, you may convert the sentences having two objects into passive voice. At last, I want to draw your attention towards the changes in subject and object places. Dear students, if any pronoun is in subject place and is transferred to object place, some changes take place. Same thing happens when we bring object to subject place. So the changes are as follows. If in subject place I is there, it becomes me in object place. If in object place we is there, we become us. You become you. He becomes him. She becomes her. They becomes them. It becomes it. In this way, when you convert from active to passive, you may take help of the given chart. So hope you have understood. And now just to check your mind whether you have understood or not, I am giving here a few questions for you. If you know how to change these sentences into passive, please write your answers in the comment box. Thank you very much.